my name is Jen Nelson-Lane. I'm an adjunct professor for the Department of Theater here at Montevallo. I've been here for 9 years, and today I'm going to tell you about one of my favorite professional experiences, which was serving on the stage management team for the Broadway production of The Light in the Piazza. Grad school at a regional theater program, and then the wind blew me to upstate New York, where I made a lot of different contacts from all over the country. I'd never really thought about it. I'd never really thought about living in New York, as most theater people do, but I figured, why not? Let's go and give it a go. So before we moved to the city, I met a person who would be one of my most important mentors for that time in my life, Michael McGough, and he really showed me how to be a New Yorker, and more importantly, how to be a stage manager in New York City. And one thing led to another, and I ended up working with him on a show at Lincoln Center. It was the Broadway revival of The Rivals at Lincoln Center, and it was a fixed run, so we were only there about 5 or 6 weeks. And then one thing led to another, and about 6 months later, I got a phone call. And in New York, there's always an inside joke that if your phone rings and it's a 212 number, you answer it because it could be Broadway calling. So I actually said aloud when my phone rang that day that it could be Broadway, so I answered the phone, and it was. So a friend of mine was working on the stage management team of Light in the Piazza, and they had just extended the performances from ending in June to ending in January, and they needed a new stage manager. So part of my job, a stage manager makes everything run smoothly on and off stage. So part of my job was to make sure that the actors had literally everything that they needed every single performance. We did 8 shows a week, sometimes 2 shows a day, sometimes 1. And I was a member of a 4-person stage management team. My favorite track for that show involved running up and down stairs something like 32 times during the show, because our pit, the orchestra pit, was downstairs and then upstairs, and we had a trap in the stage that went up and down, and anytime there was an actor on the trap, a stage manager had to be there to get them on and off safely. But then the other track backstage was just watching things, making sure that nothing was going to crash as far as scenery went, making sure that costume changes were actually happening, and making sure that our actors were where they needed to be at all times. And then the coolest part of the job was when we got to call the show. You know, what I learned from that was not to think that any goal is too high or that any dream is unattainable, because even a dream that you don't think you have can be realized. I never wanted to be a New York City stage manager. I never thought that this girl from Zachary, Louisiana could ever end up working on Broadway, but I did, and I probably learned more from that one experience than I have from anything else in my entire career. And it's something that I still share with my students every day. It's something that I still draw knowledge from, and it was just a really cool, special time in my life.